Someone I know had a horse that passed away, and they asked me to commemorate this amazing animal with a realistic painting. There are some jobs I turn down, but the challenge of painting something I've never tried before is always appealing. And I really like to help out when I can. Coincidentally, it turns out to be the year of the horse. And I feel there's something to be said about being given this opportunity at the time. I'm DrTNeil. I am an artist from Ohio, and if this is your first video of mine, I apologize for the tone. The subject matter and how this video even got filmed are surrounded in circumstances. There's something humbling about painting an animal that embodies freedom. There's also a bit of fear from uncertainty. In art, they say the hardest things to draw are hands, dragons, and horses, which I do agree with to an extent, but I also heard something else recently. How can you trust the process if you do not have one? This speaks strongly to what I've been focusing on lately. Over the years, I have built up an understanding about mixing colors and matching shapes that make this challenge seem easier. I have refined my realism process since this piece, but it was exercises like this that helped me get to where I am today. The house is rarely quiet, so I focus on painting by listening to music, podcasts, essays, and other art videos. This painting started sometime in December of 2025, and I was staying busy after my movie came out. As you can see, this video is not like my others. There are no cool transitions, the lighting is kinda terrible, and I end up trying something new at the end. I was just drained around that time, and I was certainly burned out. But I found it in me to keep working towards my goal no matter how I am feeling. Burnout doesn't send a text telling you it's on its way. It disrupts everything you are doing, banging at your front door. I thought I was simply tired, but it was deeper than that. It was the kind of exhaustion that comes from giving too much of your mind without replenishing. Painting this horse felt like a challenge that would allow me to do that. But there's a paradox in art. The more you give, the more you find. And every time I thought I had nothing left, the act of showing up proved otherwise. This video begins after I've already prepped the canvas, I've got the outline on there, I have my acrylic paint out, and I go straight into colors. I like to work with darks first, from top to bottom, back to front, but that order has changed since this painting. I worked on a few experimental portraits and scenes after this that have changed my mind on how I incorporate all of this into a style that people can recognize. I've learned that realism isn't about precision, it's about seeing the world as it is and still finding beauty in it. Impressionism, on the other hand, feels like a memory. Soft edges, fleeting light, and emotion over detail. The background objects aren't as defined as the foreground and main subject. Somewhere between the two is where I live creatively with my style. I haven't really figured it out with realism, but I'm always learning about colors and lighting. In the first 4 episodes of this series, we painted scenes from movies and shows, but this reference comes from a photo taken on a loved one's phone. Interestingly, you can take what you know about painting scenes and hopefully improve on a candid moment for the sake of artistic expression. I'm staying true to the photo, cropped in a bit, and giving it a painterly feel. I respect anyone who does hyperrealism because that's the kind of definition I have never tried before. During any given painting, I'm often focusing on one of these lessons and forgetting some of the previous ones. I'm always looking for a balance, but there is no right way to do it. Speaking of balance, I haven't ridden a horse since I was very young. And as a teen, I had the opportunity to go to a horse retirement during a college prep program, and the horse that played Seabiscuit in the film was there. I don't know much about the Chinese zodiac cycle, but I read that this year of the horse specifically falls under a cycle of fire, a combination that only occurs every 60 years. If I'm extremely lucky, I will experience one more before my death. I more than likely won't, and that puts things into a greater perspective of how rare a moment such as this can be. Artists are intimidated by the anatomy of the horse. Every muscle and tendon feels like a study in motion. In some ways, you can't just copy down what you see, you have to instill some sort of emotion within the shapes that make up the legs, body, and the eyes. If the eyes don't hold life, the entire painting falls flat. The harmony between this strength and calm takes patience. It took me a long time to recognize what makes up an artistic style. It starts with things like techniques and patterns, but now I see that it is a reflection of who you are and the way your emotions translate to creativity. With my animated style, the design and rules took a while to figure out, but the real improvements came when I started pulling from experiences and reframing them as a scene or design. Let's say you draw a very simple cat. Pretty cool, right? But that can get dull after you've done it so many times. What really pulls me back in with passion is if I associate or include something personal. I love skateboard culture. Maybe I can combine the two. A skateboarding cat. Or a cat sticker that is on the bottom of a skateboard. What about a skateboard that is also a cat? Let's not dig too deep into that last one, but I think you get the point. There's a moment in every creative journey where you stop chasing perfection and start chasing truth. For me, that moment only came when I started asking the harder questions like, why do I keep doing this? The answer changes, but it always circles back to connection, whether that's with myself or others, even across loss. This animal will live on through this painting. The horse sign symbolizes freedom, vitality, and spirit. The fire sign resembles passion, transformation, and endurance. As an outsider, reading about this zodiac cycle fuels me. Pushing through, taking the job, amongst so many things, my passion to make this creative lifestyle work helps give me purpose. Deriving meaning from the experience is something that helps me help others. I often think about the people who ask me to create something for them. They're not just clients, they're storytellers too. Each commission carries a piece of someone's life, a memory, a hope, or maybe a farewell. This horse wasn't just an animal, it was a symbol of love and loss. And that is what makes art sacred. It holds space for emotion that words can't contain. My job is to establish this image in a way that gives you all of these feelings without having to speak. In my town, there are so many stories waiting to be told. Some folks don't have the means to share their vision, and that's where I feel called to help. I may not have a phone bill or a number to call, but I have a way to reach people through what I make. I'm always searching for opportunities with artists or local businesses that could use my help. Collaboration has become a compass that reminds me creativity doesn't have to be a solidarity act. It can be a dialogue. Sharing processes, struggles, breakthroughs, building towards something larger. That's the kind of legacy I want to leave behind. Not just finished pieces, but moments of connection that leave a positive impact.
For any artistic pursuit, any creative pursuit, I think that the reality is the majority of your initial income is always going to be related.
The horse is strong and resilient, and that's something I would like to be. For myself, my family, and my work. There is no ceiling for how resilient a spirit can be. If I fail at painting this horse, I will try again. I have already failed at a career in art, and I repeat that process every single day until I find out what works. And I wonder if a horse thinks about these sorts of things as well. Doing the work, whether it's paid or not, has helped a lot of us get things done that we couldn't have thought possible. Pitching in, helping others achieve their goals, or making a profit. There is nothing wrong with doing creative things for income, and there's also nothing wrong with just doing them for yourself. But participating with your work is important. Getting up every day, drawing, filming, writing, and learning from yourself helps you find ways to provide things for others. Studying the year of the horse has taught me something about movement, not physically, but emotionally. The horse trusts its own confidence like instinct, moving without thinking. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is the foundation. Resilience is quiet, steady, and invisible. It's waking up and trying again even when no one's watching. It's believing that the act of creation itself is enough. coincidence for this being the year of the horse wasn't just about timing, it was about the transformation. As I step back from the finished portrait, I'm reminded that painting, like life, doesn't ask for perfection, only presence. The horse's spirit isn't captured in the strokes alone, but in the persistence behind them. The quiet mornings, the failed attempts, and the decision to keep showing up with confidence. If you want exclusive content, head over to DrTNeil on Patreon, where you can also support these videos and the work I do. If you'd like to contact me for work, my socials are in the bio, and if you'd like to see more art like this, check out the other videos on my channel. Stay creative, folks.
Oh, dude, that beautiful detail.
DIY, brother. Woo! Makes it look even better when you're done.